Welcome to day 2 of the Unified Baltimore Positively Living Well Town Hall. Give yourselves a hand for being present and cheerful on early Saturday morning. I'm so energized to see so many faces from yesterday, as well as energized from seeing some new faces. Welcome, welcome. I also want to welcome our live stream audience from both Facebook and Zoom. Welcome to have you. We are, if you need interpretation or translation on, use your closed caption on Zoom.
If you'd like to access closed captioning, please join us via our link bit.ly TRP Baltimore Live. You can access closed captioning that way rather than the Facebook page. And I'll hand it back to Larry.
And you're echoing. And who are you again?
Hello, everyone. My name is Heather O'Connor, and I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the program coordinator for the Reunion Project. I'm so happy to be here with all of you, and thanks for being here.
And before we get started, we want to make sure that we have, as well as the virtual audience and the in-person audience, that we were addressing all the different challenges and barriers to be able to witness and participate in this, and that involves language justice as well. And we are happy to have Carol from Equal Access Language Services here, who is providing live interpretation for those who would be in the room, and to talk more about language justice.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Yes, my name is Carol Velandia. I use she, her pronouns, and I represent Equal Access Language Services. And what is language justice? Language justice is being able to use your preferred language. And how do we achieve language justice? By providing language access. And I really want to congratulate the project, the Reunion Project, because they are making a tremendous effort to include the Hispanic community by offering language access. And language access, when you is when you are able to enjoy any service that is offered in your community, right? And that where language is not a barrier. And if you think about that, any time that you go out of a place where your language is not spoken, you have the right to have language access, right? So I'm gonna say this in Spanish so that the community, the Hispanic community understands that this is a tremendous offer that the Reunion Project is having by offering language services so that they can not only be included, but also being able to participate. Okay. So, ¿qué es justicia comunitaria? ¿Qué es justicia lingüística? Justicia lingüística es que puedas tú utilizar el idioma con el que te sientes mejor hablar y comunicarte. Y eso solamente se puede lograr a través del acceso lingüístico. Y el proyecto Reunión está facilitando que la comunidad hispana pueda no solamente ser incluida, sino participar en un proyecto como este al ofrecer acceso lingüístico, interpretación en vivo el día de hoy, y nosotros esperamos que las personas hispanas que nos acompañen aprovechen este tipo de esfuerzo para incluirlos en este proyecto. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you. Next slide. And we want to first, again, acknowledge our co-partner, National Working Positive Coalition, who did an amazing day yesterday talking about employment services, access, education, for doing all the things that help us stay connected to community, to be independent, and all the steps towards getting there. And also, and another round of applause for all the collaborator organizations who were here that helped pass out information as well. Next slide. And of course, we want to thank our funders, Gilead, Broadway Cares, Broadway Cares, and Viv. Without them, none of this would be possible, so thank you to our funders. And next, I'd like to invite our co-chairs, perfect timing, Carlton Smith and you folks, please.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome everyone here. I see we have some out of Baltimore City folk. All right? If you're not from Baltimore City, raise your hand. All right. I want to say a special welcome to you. All right? This is day 2, and we got a packed day full of lots of wonderful things. But before we get started, I would like to take one moment for us to remember those who are not with us. Over the past week, we've lost 4 warriors. You may not know all the names, but there's one name everybody knows, Hydea Broadbent. And she's no longer with us, so can we just take a minute of silence? Minute's a long time, isn't it? Okay, Carlton?
Well, it looked like you said it all this morning. Good morning, Baltimore. Woo! Bring up the energy. As Anna said, we're going to have a packed day. It's going to be a lot of interaction. Get to know your neighbor, exchange cards, give people hugs, let them know that we can't live without you, and we need one another to live and survive. And it's all about that. And we just want to thank the Reunion Project of being here in Baltimore. So give them a round of applause.
We could not have done this without them.
Exactly. You know, we really couldn't. And they were very patient with us and getting community involved. So thank you for coming out today. And like I said, get to know one another. And we're going to do this. All right.
Enjoy your day.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's so good to see all of you here this morning, and those on Zoom and Facebook and live stream. Welcome to everybody. And I'm just so glad to be a part of this committee on behalf of Older Women Embracing Life and the Maryland Coalition on HIV and Aging and the Mid-Atlantic AETC at Hopkins. I'm just so glad that the Reunion Project finally came to Baltimore. And we want to thank the whole team for finally answering our request to do so. And it has been wonderful. Yesterday was awesome, and today will be awesomer. I just made up a new word. And I just want to say, I'm totally in appreciation of anything that deals with aging up of long-term thrivers, survivors, and lifetime survivors as well, because it's been years. We're over 40-some years now, and those of us have been working in the field of HIV for that long or longer. For me, it's been 32 years working in the field, and my passion, my love is making sure everyone that's living and aging up, that they have the quality of life, the access to care, and everything that is needed. So we're here to break any stigma and any barriers. We can knock anything down. My mother taught me there's never a no. If there's a no, that means there's a yes underneath of there. So I go by that. And we're doing a good job, but a lot of work needs to be done. So we want to leave strengthening one another, continuing to stay connected and do something with the information you're getting today, because you are accountable, right? For what you have, you can do something. And I want to make sure that we can go past, we can tunnel through any social determinants of health. We can do anything. Anything is possible. So I never stop, because I believe there's a drive, there's a purpose, and we're going to make sure, and I want to honor our long-term thrivers. I really appreciate each one of you that I've known for all these years. And look, like the late Dr. John Bartlett said years ago, he said, This is one, he used the word disease, a chronic disease. It wasn't chronic then. One disease that has made a complete turn. It went from death sentence to life sentence. So I'm going to say 5 words. Live, 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 live. And I want you to look at somebody. You don't have to. This is not church. But I still thank God that we can live, 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 live. And every last one of you, if you look at someone, say, just live. Child, live. That's for everybody. Live. And live in your purpose. And I do want to say one last thing, and I promise I'll shut up after this. But I do want to say that we're able to say to one another, you, Larry, are unrepeatable. There's not another one. Your DNA, you're the original. There's not another copy, and you're irreplaceable. So you look at someone, even if you don't know them, say, you're unrepeatable. We could say I'm. It's a lot about I'm. It's always about I'm. But what about you? Because we're a community. You are unrepeatable. If I didn't see you anymore today, if something happened and I don't live tomorrow, I know I was here and I'm unrepeatable, but I made a difference because you're unrepeatable. And just repeat that to folks. Ain't another one like you. You're an original. I don't care what they say. All right? So enjoy the day. All right, everybody. Okay. Oh, and we're going to call it this time P.J. Gouldmann, our planning council, the Greater Baltimore HIV Planning Council chair. He's been chair before, but years ago, now he's chair again. So look at that. BJ. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Lord, I messed up. See there? Don't give me the mic. I'm so sorry. I thought you said PJ, but at least you're closer. BJ Shaneman. The lady, that's my sister over there. She's going to come and speak to us at this time. Please forgive me, all right? Do you need the mic today? You didn't need it yesterday. All right, because you're talking to a live audience. Big voice. Oh, yes, you are.
Hello, everybody. I'm being very calm, very serene. What'd you say? Do it? All right. I know yesterday was such a beautiful day, a day of honor. And I definitely respect the program, all of you, the love that we give each other. I come with the respect for the land that I am on today, and for the people who do reside and work on this land today. This land is that of the originals. I, as a Blackfoot American Indian and Apache, I am an original. This land is Mother Earth, in which each and every one of us grow from. It's strength given us. We fear not, because the heart of the land is who? Us. You always will remember that we can do nothing without the growth of the land, of the heavens, of all the earth, those that flourish, even those animals that I grew up knowing what my uncles, grandparents all represented. And I have coworkers that are still trying to guess which animal my parents have me represent. That's something that you don't tell. That's something you'd never let others know. As a tribal member, we play drums. Drums are messages. But also, remember I told you, if you have one drop of black blood, you're black. And Native Americans, I see your hand, my brother, back there. And we play drums to deliver messages. Messages of who we are, who's coming, what shall we do? Shall we stand and fight? I know it's obvious. I'm a little woman with a big voice, but a warrior. I'm a warrior from strong tribal background, strong women, healers. My great-grandmother was a healer. My mom was a nurse. And like I told you, here they produced a cardiovascular specialist. And we grow, and we grow. But the land is what we feel that grows under me to keep me going upwards. A lot of you asked, we jokingly talk about age, and we know that age is just the number. For those of you that are not aware, I'm 79 years old. This is culture. This is growth. This is heart. This is mind. This is our earth in which we have. We know that if you love one another, you love all those that are around you. We love in this room. I can feel it. Keep loving. Hug. Kissing. And all the craziness that go on in our world, it's there. Be aware of it. But also know, as my grandmother always said, know who you are. For you are the soil of the earth. You are the Maker's child from heaven. You are the tree that grows from the ground. And with our Christian religion, God was crucified on. Remember who you are, as well as whose you are. That is the most important thing for us to remember in our lives. And I will tell you this and close. One of the things is when I was a little girl, my grandmother would set us on the floor, and she would, you gather, I grew up with stories as a child. And my grandmother would be crying and telling us about her great aunts and all, and them dying from pox. And we as children going, what the devil is a pox? I'd never, they didn't explain it. That's what they called it. But I grew up as I learned and grew in my culture, tribal culture and understanding, that my grandmother cried because my grandmother cried, and her mother before her cried because she lost sisters, uncles, aunts from smallpox when they were moved from their land to places like Colorado, Arizona. But believe it or not, many of us escaped to Canada, where there is a large Blackfoot population. We are a tribe. We all are culture and attached. We all belong to each other. So never think that you're alone in what we're doing. I am just so proud to have been asked to do this. I have learned so much to take back to my community. And young ladies like Dorcas and I, we were just talking. We've been working for over 40 years doing HIV and doing community health fairs and educating people. And looking at that stigma and fighting to keep that stigma away. And let people know that you are you. Honor yourself. Don't never let anyone let you say or think that you are less than what you are. You grow from the earth. You are the earth. You are the love of each and every one of us. I love you all, and God bless.
Please, another hand for BJ. And I want to encourage all of you on your tables. There is a QR code that says Day 2 Bios. Please feel free at any time today to scan that and read the history and bio of BJ and all of our speakers today. You will be amazed, even more than comes through the mic. And to understand our history in the HIV community is not only just the HIV history, but our culture, our whole history, all of us, is being connected to who we are as people is a better understanding of how we connect to each other through intervention, through the work we do here today. It's not just about getting tested and getting treatment, it's about treating humans. And to understand who those humans are, you gotta sit down and you gotta listen. Your history is talking to you, is leading you. Please feel free to embrace it. And now I'd like to welcome to the front of the room, Elder, speaking of Black history, Elder Antoinettea Etienne, Elder, who is going to walk us through what we're going to do today.
Hello, giving all thanks and praise. I don't know why they gave me a mic. You know, I'm a minister and I got a big mouth. But first and foremost, I give honor to my God who woke me up this morning to be with each and every one of you. I give thanks and praise to see my first Reverend Haskins of Unity Fellowship Church. I've been seeing him often in the past year, and that's wonderful because we didn't see each other for a while. So thank you, Rev. From the depths of my heart, thank you. He's one of the reasons I'm here today, being a reverend. Wahida, you know already, you know. Oh, now, I don't want a little thug on you. I'm the reverend from the hood. Anna and Paul, thank you for allowing me to have a place to rest my head and a shower to wash my body, because you don't want no funky reverend. But I am Elder Reverend Antoinettea Etienne from out of New York, but Baltimore is my second home. I've been trying to move here for like 2 years, and every time I try to move, something happens. But I think I'm getting closer to you guys. So amen. And y'all, we're going to have fun if I come to Baltimore. You know, and this journey has been a little difficult, especially since the beginning of the year. As Anna stated, we've lost 4 people that's close and dearest to us and that's been in the fight and fighting for each and every one of you. My sister over there, my silver sister, talked about love, and it's really important. For we've been fighting this fight, some of us, for, like Dorcas said, over 40 years. You know, no matter what, we've stayed in it. We've switched languages. We've endured. We went from no pill to 1 pill. No pill to 27 pills to 1 pill. So y'all better come on now. Continue to educate yourself and reach out and touch somebody. So, the overview of today, and I thank you very much, Larry, because, you know, I'm a little what is that called? Challenged. Reunion Project Who We Are will be by Jeff Berry. Our grounding exercise will be by Lynette Trawick. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Okay. Collaborating Organizations Acknowledgement will be by PJ Gouldmann. United Buffalo, Positively Living Well keynote, Ronald S. Johnson. And if you haven't heard Ronald speak, come on, somebody. Okay, the People's Preliminary, my Reverend Jeffrey Haskins and Lynette again. You better do right, because my Reverend ain't no joke. Okay? And then we have lunch, and I'm not going to tell you more about the lunch. I'm going to let them surprise you. And United Buffalo, we're going to get together. Why do I keep saying Buffalo? Because they invited me, and I'm not trying to go. They got too much snow. I'm a Caribbeanite. I'm not trying to go to Buffalo. United Baltimore, we're all going to get together and do a group photo, which is really important. Memories, blessed memories that we spent a day together, okay? Uplifting and acknowledging each other, empowering and educating each other. So very important. And a recap of the morning session will be by my sister, Sister Love, Melanie Reese. Am I done? What else do I do? Oh, I gotta continue. HIV and aging across the lifespan, Dr. Allison Agu, okay. Relationships, sex and sexuality, okay, Anna. Stephanie Brooks and Kevin Myers, aging and resiliency in the LGBTQ community. Big up, big up. I like that you have that. Very important. They always forget about my community. I am a reverend of alternative lifestyles, so that is really important to me. And your concurrent breakout sessions, HIV, aging, and comorbidities. It ain't HIV that's taking us out today. It's everything else. Please, please, please go to that group by Dr. Todd T. Brown, Mental Health and Trauma-Informed Care for Long-Term Survivors by Jamel Haley, Dr. Jamel Haley, and Pronunciation and Gender Identity with People First Languages. Very important. I don't want to hear nobody says, what is it, AIDS? What did they used to say? AIDS diagnosis? No. Full-blown AIDS. No, 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 no bueno. No bueno. Cámbialo. Yes, I speak many languages. Yeah, I have more than one AKA. So, you know, it's really good. Post-breakout sessions feedback, Larry Bryant. Group appreciation, convening and connecting, Heather and Wahida. Evaluations. Y'all ain't leaving here unless y'all give me an evaluation. Don't leave out of here, because I'm going to tell you why. Evaluations are very important when you have a summit or a conference. That's where the money comes from, so we can provide for you. You all didn't pay $1 to get here, but, you know, driving, getting here, and we're giving you food, we're giving you breakfast, lunch, and love, you know, and paperwork. And a couple of us are here, free. Come on, somebody. So in order to have another one somewhere else, please, please fill out those evaluations. They're so very needed. And the last part is, well, the second to last part is swag raffles. And we will have several raffles, and I'm not going to tell you. Yesterday was good. I heard y'all had $50 gift certificate. Who got it? I got my gun. So, closing remarks will be by Anna and Carlton, and I thank you kindly for listening to me and enduring my humor. Bye-bye.
Thank you. And now I'd like to invite to the front of the room Jeff Berry, Executive Director of the Reunion Project.
Thank you, Larry. Wow, I don't know how to follow all of that, but do you have the clicker? Oh, great. I'll let you do it. So, hi, everybody. I'm Jeff Berry. I'm Executive Director of the Reunion Project. My pronouns are he and him. And I'm just really happy to be here today. I'm really thrilled to have everyone join us today for day 2 of the Reunion Project. How many people were here for day 1? Raise your hand. All right, a good number, good number. So how many people have been to a Reunion Project before? All right, wow, that's really great. Sure, you're jumping ahead, virtual. Yeah, we'll get to that. Thank you, Melanie. You know, something BJ said really stuck with me, that we all belong to each other. So this is about community, this event. The Reunion Project is about community. It's about bringing people together. It's about connections. Connections, I feel, are really important. I like to call it the perfect blend of science and spirit. We give a little presentations on HIV and aging and other topics that are important to people aging and long-term survivors, but We also really want people to take the opportunity to connect with each other, to share our stories of survival and resilience. We're the National Alliance of Long-Term Survivors of HIV. So what we do is we go around the country and we do various programs, and we'll get to that in a second. But these are just some general housekeeping and self-care rules. Take a look at that. Make sure to take time to breathe, take time to stretch, take time to rest. If you need to step out, you know, you're welcome back in the room anytime. Just do what you need to do for practice self-care. So as I said, my name is Jeff Berry. We have Wahida, the legend, our Director of Community Outreach, and Larry Bryant, our Senior Program Manager, and Heather O'Connor, our Program Coordinator. Next slide. We couldn't do what we do without our collaborators, National Working Positive Coalition. Mark's out there in the hall. Mark, wave to us from the hall. How you doing? Sylvester Askins, Vanessa Johnson, and Heather and Martha Cameron, who couldn't be with us today, but she's here with us in spirit. And so, yeah, I just realized yesterday that it's been 6 years now that we've been collaborating together, our two organizations, and so we're looking to do further collaborations with the National Working Positive Coalition, because it's really important, you know, that people understand that there's options out there when it comes to employment and their benefits, and so we're really thrilled to be able to help share those resources. So as I mentioned, we have these regional convenings around the country. We do about 3 a year. We're doing 4 this year. We have our next one's in Chicago, my hometown, and that's in May, and then we're going to be in Denver and Jackson, Mississippi later in the year. We also do a number of webinars on various topics. Our last one that we just did was U equals U for long-term survivors of HIV. Really engaging, really thoughtful programs that speak to various topics that are important to people living and aging with HIV and long-term survivors particularly. And then twice a year we do what we call our national virtual meetings, which is kind of based on this model, but it's online and it's a little bit shorter, maybe about 3 hours. And so those are typically in June and December. And if you want to join and find out more information, you can go to our new website. We just launched a couple weeks ago at reunionproject.net and sign up. So we also do some mini grants. We did 4 last year for local communities to develop their own programs for long-term survivors of HIV. We're wrapping those up now. We're going to announce a second round in a couple of months, so keep your eyes open for that. And then we collaborate with other organizations on various things and conferences around the year. So I'm really happy to be able to help extend our reach and our message to people, you know, around the country. So, who is a long-term survivor? You know, typically the standard definition that we've used for many years: people diagnosed before 1996. Who have survived those early years of the epidemic. But people who've been living with HIV for 10 years or more, we also welcome as long-term survivors. There are people who've gone through various periods in their life, maybe as a young adult to being older, who are long-term survivors. And we also recognize lifetime survivors, or dandelions, people born with HIV who acquired HIV very early in life. Hydea was a lifetime survivor. And then we also people not living with HIV who are allies in the cause. Many of them were providers in the early days of the epidemic. And they suffered a lot of trauma and loss, like many of us did. And they've survived, and so if you self-identify as a long-term survivor, you are. So now I just would like to once again thank you all for being here today, and I hope that you get out of today what you need, and share with other long-term survivors of the resources that we have available, and make connections here today that are life-lasting. I would like to now introduce Linda D., a dear friend, who's going to tell you a little bit about a study that we are working on right now for long-term survivors. Thank you.
All right. Oh, geez. First, welcome to Baltimore. Nobody comes here, you know? I mean, it's just wonderful to see our friends from Baltimore and people from another city or other places come to visit us. So give yourself a hand for coming down and coming out yesterday and today. So just a little bit about AIDS Action. I mean, I think we're the oldest surviving HIV organization in Maryland, okay? So we're very proud of that. And we started from the gay community and having benefits in bars, because that's where we came from. And we've raised money to give to people for financial assistance. And it didn't take us long to realize that we ain't going anywhere with this unless we have research and funding for research to we thought in those days, cure HIV. I was, I've always been a bit of a, let's just say fierce. I'll keep it nice and polite. Anyway, if you can send a man to the moon, you can cure this. You can fix this for all communities. Well, HIV turned out to be a much more pesky bug than that. It's much more like cancer than viral, other viral diseases. But anyway, so we got involved with Hopkins. I was there when we were outside laying down like dead bodies in front of the FDA and storming the NIH and, just really from the beginning, dealing with the powers that be with research and getting drugs approved. So now I've been, and we've got one pill once a day now, and that's really to do with a lot of activists like Jeff and all the people that we work with that have beat up the drug companies all these years to keep things going, to try and keep the prices down. I mean, that's always the hardest because this is America, Anyway, I won't digress into that. But so now we've been working with cure research. Because we've cured people who have had HIV and cancer, but that's a very small percentage of people with HIV. So we're working on a cure for everybody across the world, not just in the North, as we say. But what we've been doing is not only doing the science of it, the science that we're used to, but the behavioral and social science. So we know what people need and want. And we've got, what these studies do, like this study, is get people's opinion, what you want to see, what you don't want to see, how much risk you want to take, what sorts of things are important to you. And it's often very hard to find people who are willing to do that. They think, study, let me out of here. You want my blood and you want this and that. All we want is to pick your brain with this. We want to pay you $50 to tell us what you think. That's pretty good, right? But we really need to know, and I think we're going to change the criteria. Initially, it was over 65, and I think we're going to change that to 60. But you can see the criteria, the eligibility criteria. But mostly, we have done this work with people who are younger and in midlife, but we need to know, we want to be sure, just like we did back in the day, when people were researching antiviral drugs, they always wanted the people that were naive, that didn't have any drugs in their system, because they're easier, it's easier to get drugs to work in those people. And people that have been using every drug in the book, everything's always harder. So they've not been included, and we want to be sure that they are. So, just for instance, we have heard from older people when you talk about cure research. Initially, they're like, cure? It's like HIV's been part of their lives for so long that it just doesn't compute at first. And then they think, yay, and then they think, oh my God, what happens when all my services are gone, when my drugs aren't paid for, you know? I mean, and some people have Medicare, or all people have Medicare, but, you know, when they get to be a certain age. But, you know, what happens when my support groups are gone? What happens when my housing is gone? And all of a sudden, cure becomes a whole different, oh my God, you know? So we are trying to not only get that information, but make sure that those other issues that are important to people in their everyday lives, are included in, you know, the topics that are researched and the services that we know we need to provide to kind of pave the way. I mean, we don't want to cure everybody and then have everybody starve to death with nowhere to live, you know. So, in other words, we have to go full circle, and we really want women, and we want women of color, because they're always left out, you know, and we really need, I mean, when we stop the study actually to get more women to enroll. So I think it's very important that that people tell us what they think, tell us what they want, what they need, what they don't want, because it's your chance to describe to scientists why you don't want to enroll in trials, or, you know, all of the above. So hopefully we can give you some information on this. I mean, here is the flyer, which gives the information at the bottom. I mean, I can, how will we distribute that to people that are? Yeah, okay, no, we'll send it out. And Melanie? Right. Well, I think, okay, tell me why you think that. Oh yeah, you can see this second bullet here. People have acquired HIV before the start of combination therapy. Is that what you were referring to when we talked about the protease inhibitors? Yes. Okay. Okay, so there are a lot of long-term survivors who were diagnosed after that date. Gotcha. That are in this age range. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, that's a good point. And that's good to know. See, now I learned something here today, which is the point of us trying to get information from you. Because we're going to, when we amend the one, maybe we can look at the other part of that too. Yes, sorry, Wahida.
When I was diagnosed, I had an AIDS diagnosis. The first time I got tested, I already had AIDS. Which means that I probably had HIV for 10 or 15 years before I actually got diagnosed.
Right.
People get diagnosed late.
Right.
And they already have AIDS, so they've already had it for 10 or 15 years.
Right. Okay. Well, I will definitely take that back. And this is a perfect time, too, because we're going to go back to the what's called an institutional review board to amend this, and maybe we can fix that, too. Okay, great. So anyway, welcome to Baltimore. Thank you for being here. You know, I mean, it's just, it does my heart good to see all these people here. So thank you, Jeff, and everybody else.
Thanks so much, Linda. Yeah, it's really important we wanted to make sure that people were aware of that study. And thank you, Melanie, for your question. That's a great question. So we'll take it back and look at that. So at this time in our program, I'd like to kind of shift gears, and we're going to do a grounding exercise that's going to be led by one of our host committee members, Lynette Trawick. Lynette? Do you want the podium? No.
Good morning. Good morning. How are we today? Are we actually good? Because, you know, sometimes when we say, how are you, the natural response is good, but like, are we actually good? We're good? Okay. All right, good. So this is like a little quick check-in. I just want to really make sure that we're good. Who's not good? Who's bold enough to say they're not good today? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. But that's just something to think about, you know? People are quick to say that they're good. It's just like, and like I said, a natural response. But, you know, we got to be honest sometimes. So I appreciate you for saying it, and I pray that you get what you need in this space. So I'm Lynette Trawick, originally from Philadelphia, currently living in Baltimore County, specifically Reisterstown, Maryland. I like saying it now because when I first learned about Reisterstown, I couldn't say the word. It just didn't even make sense to me. It was too many S's in there. I wanted it to be like Reisterstown or something. But anywho, as I introduced myself yesterday, I am married to this wonderful, awesome man right here at this table, Daniel, and we have 11 children. So grounding and centering myself in prayer and, you know, just spending time alone and with God and all of that is such a big, big, big important thing in my life. Quick moment of transparency. I went to visit a cardiologist earlier this week, and he said to me, so I discovered I've been having stress-induced heart palpitations. So he said, what do you do to relax? I said, I'm sorry, what? He's relax. He said, yeah, like, what do you do? You know, because like on weekends I go fishing, and that's like relaxing to me. And I'm like, well, I like working out. He's like, yeah, that's not really what I mean. You know, so I now, you know, I'm making it really intentional about finding those things to be relaxed. You know, communicating it with my kids, because I'm, you know, I'm a servant at heart, and in those moments I have to make sure that everyone around me understands my needs as well. You know, because sometimes, like I said earlier, we may check in and say, hey, I'm good, but you're not. And if you continue walking around saying that I'm good and nobody else really knows that you're not good, how can they actually serve you? So I have to, you know, I pull my family in. We have family meetings, and that's something we're restarting and talking about our feelings and needs and all of that. So, you know, in this space, I want you to be okay with not being okay, and be okay with receiving what it is that you need to receive in order to become okay. All right, so we are, give me a second so I can connect this this speaker here. There it is. So I'm going to walk you through some exercises, okay? And let me connect this music. And just give yourself some time to really just be, okay? So this is a grounding exercise. So in this space, it'll be a time where I just want you to connect with your body, be present in the moment. I'm actually going to pull a chair up, so I'm hoping that you can all see me. Okay. So I want you to begin, just sit up straight in your chair if you can. Place your feet flat on the floor, and place your hands right in your lap. If you're comfortable, close your eyes. Just take a minute. Take a couple deep breaths. Really deep. Imagine your lungs as balloons. You want to fill those balloons up completely. In. Hold it for a second. And then you want to completely deflate those balloons. Exhale all the way, as much as you can. And again, slowly through your nose. Notice how much your abdomen fills up. Fill it all the way up. Hold it for a second. Slowly exhale. Inhale through your nose. Imagine the air flowing all through your body. Feel your abdomen expand. Hold it for a second. Slowly exhale. One more time. Inhale. Slowly fill up your lungs to capacity. Hold it for a second. Exhale as far as you can. You want to get all of the air out. Just continue breathing and noticing your breath as we move into a body scan. So continue sitting. You can continue keeping your eyes closed if you're comfortable. Now as you breathe, focus on your feet. Pay attention to any sensations you may feel in your toes. Wiggle your toes around a little bit. Any warmth, if you feel a little chill on your toes, any tingling, any pressure, don't do anything about it, just feel it. Now slowly move up. Notice your calves, any feelings you may feel there. Again, no judgment on your body at all. You're just noticing these feelings. Move up through your legs to your thighs. Just taking notice. Move up to your abdomen. Your belly may be full. Your belly may be empty. It may be rumbling. No matter what that sensation is, you're doing it judgment-free. You're just noticing all the feelings. Slowly pause at each section. Move on to your chest. You feeling any tightness there? Focus back on your breathing. Deep breath in. Hold it for a second. And release it. Move up to your shoulders. This is where a lot of us hold anxiety. You may notice your shoulders might be raised right now. Again, no judgment. If your shoulders are raised, release them. I'm releasing with you. Just breathe through it. Inhale. Release your shoulders. Inhale. Hold it for a second. Notice the sensations in your arms as you drop your shoulders. Feel your fingertips. Notice the feeling of the cloth on your fingertips. Fingertips may be a little chilly. It may be a little warm. Just feel whatever you feel. Let's move back up our arms to our necks. Again, you may feel a little tension there, but that's okay. We're not judging our bodies for feeling. Just breathe. Deep inhale. Hold it. Deep exhale. Release all the stress. Take notice of your head. It may be full. You may feel some pain. You may feel nothing. All of the feelings are okay. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. We're going to do a series of some stretches. So feel free to open your eyes slowly if you're ready. So we're going to do some neck rolls. I want you to try to put your right ear to your right shoulder as far as you can. Always remembering to breathe. Slowly focus on dropping your chin to your chest, as far as whatever's comfortable for you. Just let your head fall. Now focus on getting that left ear to your left shoulder. Again, any pain, you're not judging any pain that's going on in your body. And just taking notice. You do it the other way. Chin back to your chest. Just let your head fall. Right ear to your right shoulder. One more time, chin to your chest. Left ear to your left shoulder. Now, if you're able, I want you to do a forward bend. So if you have the space, I'll demonstrate it. So we're going to sit tall in your chair. You're going to inhale. And as you exhale, you're just going to bend at your hips and reach your hands toward the floor or your shins. So here's the motion. Don't worry about holding yourself up. Just let your body bend, however it's comfortable. And sit up. You're going to raise your hands up, clasp your fingers, and just bend to your left slowly, and then bend to your right slowly. Repeat that again. I want you to do that hip bend again. So bring your arms back down and let your body fold right at your hips. Remember to inhale and exhale. Notice the feelings in your fingertips as you do this. Imagine your spine lengthening, stretching. Inhale and exhale. Just notice how different your body feels with the inhales and exhales as compared to sitting up. Okay, slowly sit up. We're going to do a little twist. So if you sit, take your left hand, put it on the right side of your chair, twist as far as you can. Either way is fine. Whichever way you start with is fine. Continue to breathe. Slowly turn to the other side. Do the same motion. Now back to the center. Just take a moment to yourself. Think whatever you think. Breathe. That's the most important thing, is breathe. And just notice how you feel taking a deep breath, filling the balloons all the way up completely and emptying them completely, as compared to when we're just going through the daily motions of life with sometimes we don't even realize how fast we're breathing. we're not using all of the air that we have available to us. In those moments of anxiety, that's what I want you to start trying to focus on, those deep breaths. Fill up the balloon, hold it, deflate the balloon completely. Anybody have anything they want to share, how you feel, how that felt for you? Is this anyone's first time doing any deep breathing? Like really focused deep breathing? Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for joining me in that.
Thank you, Lynette. I went the wrong way. There we go. So now I'd like to invite to the front of the room PJ Gouldmann, who is going to acknowledge all of the different organizations who have supported this, done the outreach, and helped to provide all the resources that are currently available in the back on the tables. Thank you, PJ.
Thank you, Larry. Hi, everyone. Starting in the upper left-hand corner, the AIDS Education and Training Center Program of the Mid-Atlantic, AIDS Action Baltimore, Chase Brexton Healthcare, Johns Hopkins School of Nursing, the Center for Infectious Disease and Nursing Innovation, Maryland Coalition on HIV and Aging, IMU, Oh Well, Elizabeth Dorothy Pollard Foundation, Healthcare Services, AL, Power Project, Black Equity Baltimore, Total Healthcare, Free State Justice, Center for AIDS Research at Johns Hopkins University.